We are going live. It says we're going live. All right. It says we're live. Are we live? It's amateur hour here at the thing. It's okay. All right, we're good now. I guess.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Just Two, or is it three? Spoiler, is it 3 today? I don't know. We'll get to that later.
2 marks and an elite man.
3 marks. Wrestling recap show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined by Jedi Jason Kruger, and if you can hear him, I'm gonna try and turn him up a little bit more. We are joined once again.
What's up, wrestling community? It's the Elite Era.
It's Easy of the Elite Era. And,
the Elite Era, baby.
We're going to do a sound test.
We're doing a quick sound test. Thank you for bearing with us.
Did they not hear me loud enough?
We are joined once again. All right, yay!
They can hear you.
They can hear you. All right, so we got a big week to talk about. It was Superstar Shake-Up Week, and boy, am I sad.
That was the WWE draft.
Essentially the WWE draft, but again, boy, am I sad. And early show, yeah. Well, it's gonna be earlier from now on, Ray. Where's the chat?
There we go.
I see him on the computer,
yeah.
but I don't see him in. Oh, there he is! Yay! All right, everything's caught up. Everything's caught up here at Amateur Hour.
Right.
Just 3 marks wrestling recap show.
Internet.
Yeah, but the Superstar Shake-Up happened, and I'm a little sad about some things. I'm a little happy about others, but. Yeah, it is. Hello, Ray. Can you hear us?
I'm still here.
We got Chad. I got Ray in the chat. I wonder if he can hear. We'll go ahead and just go to the introduction real quick.
I got audio.
Yeah.
So.
All right, there we go.
LOL.
LOL. We're laughing here. This is the Just 2 or maybe 3 today. Mark's Wrestling Recap Show. Jedi and I have, for over 15 years, been talking wrestling. We love wrestling. We love sharing wrestling with the whole wrestling community, but we're just fans, just like each and every one of you. We're not any better. We're not insiders. We avoid the use of insider terms because we're not insiders or wrestlers. At the end of the day, we are just 2, or in the case of today, 3 marks. And let's get to it. Let's start talking about all the stuff that happened.
We want to talk about Raw.
Well, we're going to go to Raw thoughts first, as I take a swig out of my Wild Bill's soda pop stein.
In the loudest wrestling city in the world.
That's right.
Do what now?
The city they were in.
I said they had Raw and SmackDown, the loudest wrestling city in the world.
Yes, and you know why that city's so loud? Because Bret Hart tapped to his own finishing maneuver in that city.
And at least on SmackDown, which we'll get to later, I love the "You Screwed Bret" chants.
Who did they even say that to?
They said that to McMahon when he made his big superstar acquisition.
Oh, yeah, that's right, they did, yeah. I wasn't really paying attention.
Later, but I literally thought it was actually going to be a free agent.
Yeah. Well, starting with Raw, first of all...
time-honored tradition. Miz moves brands again, like he does every year.
Every year. This is one that I'm not really too happy about.
Who isn't happy with Raw?
I really wish that Miz felt like he really kind of found himself on SmackDown. I feel like if they're going to keep using him in a heroic role,
right,
that SmackDown might just be the place for him.
I find him more as a SmackDown superstar.
Yes. I just feel like, especially after the year he's had there, I feel like that needs to be the place for him.
Yeah.
I feel
it's
like...
kind of like Edge. He was on both shows quite a few times, but you associate him with SmackDown more.
Yes.
That's kind of Miz.
Yeah.
SmackDown.
But, boy, it's going to get even worse later. But, we'll get to that, friends.
Oh no, you want to talk about bad. Here's why I'm sad. We had an NXT call-up. The Viking experience.
Oh, man. Boy, was Twitter pissed off. I think even the Montreal crowd was confused. Like, they heard the music. It's like, oh, yes, War Raiders are here. Wait, what the hell is that up on the screen?
You know, I'm gonna... There's one part of this that I can play devil's advocate with.
Okay.
Maybe not calling them the War Raiders, I can understand, because now they're... As great as NXT is, it is still kind of a niche show. Yeah. Not everybody in the world watches NXT. So therefore, with certain things on NXT, because it's on a streaming service, because it's somewhat niche, you can get away with certain things.
Yeah.
On national television, when you're catering to sponsors, when you're catering to more standards and practices, I can understand maybe on your TV PG show with children, maybe you don't want a tag team called the War Raiders going around chanting, War! 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 War!
Oh,
War!
Come on. You had D-Generation X every night saying, we got 2 words for you. Suck it.
Not in the PG era, though. Not in the PG era.
Even in the PG era.
I'm just saying, like, I would rather them do that. Trust me, I'd rather them go unchanged. I'm just saying maybe I can see where they're coming from. However, here are my 2 major gripes. One, can you come up with a better fucking name than the Viking fucking experience? And number 2, why couldn't they have still been Hanson and Rowe? Why do they got to be Eric and Ivar?
Aren't they still the NXT Tag Team Champs?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Confused. Like, what?
Yep. In fact, I went on WWE.com earlier today and was just scrolling through the roster, and it has the champions at the top. And I got to the NXT branch, and I scrolled down, and right there it says NXT Tag Team Champions with their pictures, the Viking Experience. And I cried a little again.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The
Little did I know
already
I
began.
think back to any stables that would scare the crap out of the PG era, like how even the Wyatt family, like come on.
I get, but like it's kind of one of those people are weird and saying things like that, like right on the something like that would get people more angry than what I mean.
Fine, here we go. You had a stable that was called the Bludgeon Brothers. Bludgeon.
Right.
That's basically putting like someone's head off. You like bludgeon force trauma, I guess. I don't know why I was saying. What exactly is wrong with War Raiders? It's just a name. It's like Bullet Club. It's just a name. It's not associating with a gun club, contrary to popular belief.
I have some stories there. But we're not. Those are different. Those are different stories for a different day, because they're just not the time and place for them. But I'm just saying, like standards and practice are weird because, like, this is now off wrestling, but the original Pokemon series, the episode.
I didn't grow up on Pokemon.
Yeah. But it's just for the sake of the story. The original Pokemon, the Safari Zone episode, was never aired in the United States because the owner of the Safari Zone pulled a revolver out on Ash and his friends. So an actual revolver was bad. You couldn't have that. However, all the blasters and every other thing, that's okay. So it's just...
There have been
it's one of those, like, what the fuck? But again, it's also one of those, like...
Yeah.
PC culture and keeping that PG rating, like, it's very, very, like, on cable TV, rules apply to this, but they don't apply to this, and they're enforced here, but they're not enforced here, so it's kind of very iffy. I don't understand why either, but it's one of those, like, if it would have been murky, maybe it's best to just change it now rather than... It's better that they changed it now than rather 3 months in, like, we're not wrong with the War Raiders, we're the Viking Experience. But still, you gotta come up with something better than the Viking Experience. And why are they not Hanson and Rowe? That's my number one with this. It's just...
Why aren't they what?
Why aren't they Hanson and Rowe anymore? Why are they Eric and Ivar or what the
Or
fuck
they have
ever.
generic Viking
I'm
names.
sorry that my name is becoming a curse like Eric Rowan when he went down to Rowan.
No, they just
Well,
chose.
it's not going to happen now because they only got one name.
Oh, they just.
Honestly, it's kind of sad for
Hey, they're one names now, you know.
Yeah. Well, they weren't any.
For any sort of a name for a wrestler, I sadly think Eric is just not intimidating. Like, if I became like a wrestler or a manager, I would not use my real name. It's just not intimidating.
I don't really know if I found Hanson or
Maybe as a
Rowe
last
to be
name,
that
like Erickson.
intimidating.
I would do that, but I wouldn't do it for a first name.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if I found Hanson and Rowe, just those names, to be intimidating.
But it just
when you see them come out, you're like, well, intimidating. So
yeah.
I don't care what your name is.
See, but the big thing, like, the Viking Experience is a terrible name, but it's if they don't turn into a comedy act, you know, hey, maybe it can work. You know, there have been a lot of tag teams take something that's supposed to be or been just a lot of people have taken, you know, something that's supposed to be, you know, comedy and then turned it into something real serious.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, they're worked as villains
I
on the
also
show.
don't
Yeah,
know
they're-
why the hell you'd call them up. Because if they're there for the one night, that's fine. Maybe you just like non-title match against the current tag team champs. But I don't get it. And out of all the NXT stables they call up, have you guys forgotten how long has Street Profits been on NXT? I feel like it's been forever. They've never gotten a call up.
Well, maybe they're just not ready. Because that's the other thing, like, that you gotta always remember about NXT call-ups is...
Than War Raiders.
Call-ups is at the pleasure of Vince McMahon, so...
Yeah.
Again, I would have wanted Street Profits than the War Raiders. Because they're not doing anything and people know who they are.
Do they? I really don't know much about them. I mean, like, I know who they are, but, like, I don't, like... I'm not trying to knock them, but, like, the Street Profits just kind of exist to me.
Well, they have a better chance of
Yeah.
running the tag division or being in contention now, I suppose.
Or
Right.
maybe Crime Time 2.0.
Or that.
Which I miss.
Well, you could have met Crime Time if you would have gone to WrestleCon.
So anyway, Viking Experience is on Raw. That's what WWE.com's article says with all the
Okay,
listings.
next,
So
because I'm gonna have like a 30-minute rant about why the change. Can we just move on to the next? I'm done with that.
Yeah,
I
let's
can't.
stop. Yeah, let's...
and
We got a lot of ground to cover tonight here, folks.
apparently Ricochet and Black are both on Raw. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I was really hoping they get split
I'm
up so that way they
surprised
could pursue singles careers, but I mean, I guess they're serious about them being a fucking tag team now.
Apparently.
So.
I mean, they have, in a way, good chemistry. Like with
yeah,
the
I mean-
War Raiders at TakeOver New York.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was a great
That was
match,
awesome.
yeah.
A great match.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was one of the... Yeah, it was way better than the tag team match that we saw the next night, but that's another debate
I'm
for
just
another
trying
day.
to wonder, why did Michael Cole sound so surprised? It's like, oh my god, Ricochet's on Raw. It's like, yeah, he's been on Raw for like the past month now.
You gotta act excited. I mean, I get it, but like, you gotta act excited. He did represent SmackDown at WrestleMania. I mean...
Yeah, but I don't know.
I get
still
it.
uncomfortable
The
with
floating
the
people that are now
superstars.
suddenly locked on a show and they're all excited and it's like, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it, but it's
The
just kind of
floating
those
thing
like...
is weird. Andrade.
Woo!
on Raw.
I kind of like the yin and yang approach, where it's like Ricochet, he's like the high flyer, like athletic guy, and then you have Aleister Black, he's like the demonic, silent man who can kill you with a kick.
Yep.
They have good chemistry and they're a good tag team. It's just, I still go back to why they're a tag team in the first place. Like, all right, you're both from NXT.
I
You're a
guess
tag
it's
team
kind
now.
of like Sheamus and Cesaro, where it's like you're so confused why they're a tag team, and then a couple months later, it's like, you know what, this actually works.
Well, and if they end up, they haven't had the chemistry of Sheamus and Cesaro, then it's damn good. I just really, especially, I mean, I love Ricochet, don't get me wrong, but like I see Aleister Black being huge. I'd love to see Aleister Black turn villain as a singles guy, which could happen in a year or so.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, just
But
right now they're tag
in a
teams,
good
so.
feud against Finn Balor.
Oh
Yeah,
well.
Finn Balor versus, I don't know, Demon Black.
Well, unfortunately, that's not looking like an option now, but we'll get to that.
Obviously not now, but soon.
So Andrade and Zelina Vega ended up on Raw. Thank goodness they're like doing their thing again, because
I think this is a good. I mean, like it's kind of hard to get ahead of ourselves, but like you know, I feel like this is better.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Andrade coming to Raw better after seeing SmackDown than I did when it happened. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, when it happened, I'm like, oh, he's probably gonna get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
But then after SmackDown, I'm like, hey, maybe this is the best thing that could have happened to him. So I don't know. We'll see.
Rey Mysterio is on Raw now.
Well, with what we're going to see at the very end of this, I'm very happy about that because there's a dream match that I was hoping for, and I'm kind of like, they need to get on this fucking shit because I don't know how many more good years Rey has left in him.
Right.
So they need to get on this fucking match as soon as possible.
I feel like 36 will be his last Mania. I'm thinking that.
Well, then he needs to wrestle somebody there.
Really accomplished now.
He's got one more match that he needs to have on. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Usos are on Raw now, which is not surprising since they lost the belts.
Yeah.
Last week.
And it was spoiled by a production issue with the as they were going to wrestle Rude and Gable. And they were introduced as the Usos, so way to keep us in suspense there, Kevin Dunn. But I kind of feel like a fresh coat of paint for the Usos. While I'm personally not a huge fan of the Usos, like just on a personal level. But my reasons, kind of like with Rousey, my reasons for disliking them have nothing to do with wrestling, so it has no place on this show. I feel like it's good for them. They've kind of been dominating the tag team division ever since they started a tag team division on SmackDown, so fresh coat of paint, fresh set of opponents on Raw.
Yep. Several fresh sets of opponents now.
And also, I do feel like, though, they need to go back to being a villainous tag team because I feel like they'd be a very good...
right.
They'd be a very good,
I'm really confused if they are heroes or heels.
What are heels? What's heels? I don't know what a heel is.
Or anti-heroes.
Right.
Yeah.
Good, bad, somewhere in between.
Yeah.
What are they?
I feel like they could be like they'd be like a good foil to this feel-good tag title run with Hawkins and Ryder.
I'm always so confused that, like, are you guys the good guys or the bad guys?
Right.
It's like when they had that gauntlet match with the New Day and they say, like, you know what, we've had bad blood, we've had history, but we respect you guys, so we forfeit. So it's like, all right, that was honestly awesome. So I don't know if they were turning heel at that moment.
I think they have been technically the good guys for a while now.
Right. I mean, I'm sure they were at WrestleMania.
I feel like...
Even though I think everybody in the crowd wanted, myself included, wanted Black and Ricochet to win.
I feel like the Usos have been basically good guys since the Hell in a Cell match with New Day. Like, they put on such a war that afterwards the crowd respected both, and they just kind of... Huh?
I remember that, actually. Like, didn't they have, like, a handshake at the end of that match?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like they beat the stuffing out of each other so much that they were finally like, all right, fair enough, we're equals. Yeah. And then the Bludgeon Brothers showed up to rain on everybody's parade,
Right.
Yeah. So I think they've technically been good guys for, like, the last year.
Everyone wanted.
Naomi's on Raw now. Speaking of Usos,
it'd be kind of shitty if they did.
Yeah, it really would. Yeah. And that's not bad because on Smack she was kind of standing. Again, she could have a reset on Raw.
Yeah. Again, fresh coat of paint for Naomi.
Yeah.
Naomi. I mean, I don't dislike Naomi. She's not my favorite, but I think she's very good, and I think this will help her being able to go to Raw.
Yeah, she kind of got lost in the shuffle there. I mean, when you don't do anything with somebody, You can only stay relevant for so long.
And the thing with the women's division is, right now is, unlike with the men, where there's different titles to go for. With women,
Right.
there's kind of tag titles or singles title, and there you go. There's not a women's intercontinental title.
Right.
And the women's division, just as cool as that'd be, there's too many belts now as it is, and the women's division just isn't big enough. Shimmer could have a secondary title, but not.
Right.
I feel like the women's division is starting to both expand but also kind of shrink, where it's like, okay, we know we have women's competitors, so where the hell are they?
Well, for a while it seemed like SmackDown was lacking, and now after this it kind of seems like Raw's got not that many. Well,
when you have, and I'm not complaining about it, but when you have, the same person as the champion on both brands.
Yep.
I'm very interested to see how long they do that with Becky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she should just lose them both immediately, but I'm interested to see kind of where.
I say she keeps one and then loses the other.
That's kind of what I would think.
But I feel like at least hold both of them until get through this next pay-per-view with both, and then maybe at the other one, then that's at the earliest you lose one of them.
The next pay-per-view is Money in the Bank, so.
Oh, in June? Or are they doing it earlier this
year?
year?
Did you see a cash-in like last year? That's my guess.
I'd say by the June pay-per-view needs to be at the earliest when Becky loses one title.
You know what? You'll hate me for this, but I say she'll lose one of her belts at SummerSlam.
That's fine.
SummerSlam, wow.
Okay,
you think it'll last that long?
You could tell a good story that way.
Yeah.
Where, she's been defending too long. If she loses, and I'm not, anti, Lacey Evans. I'm not anti-Lacey Evans by any stretch. I'm not a huge fan, but, I kind of... We'll get into that. We'll get into that a little later.
That's the next segment.
We need more bad girls like Lacey Evans, because I love how she acts.
I kind of like how it's the thing that just I don't really haven't seen enough of her on NXT to really form an opinion, and her just coming out and then walking back out hasn't endeared herself to me. But I kind of like the idea of the character who's the proper lady versus the man.
Yeah.
I like the idea behind that.
Well, she's supposed to be the sassy Southern Belle, which I kind of think that's a handful. It's why not just the sassy Belle? I don't know. We already know she's supposed to be a Southern Belle.
I think that's proper lady versus the lady that calls herself the man. Yeah. I think that's just kind of a cool dichotomy, but I also, I'm gonna be pissed if Lacey Evans just ends Becky Lynch right immediately. I feel like it's too soon.
Right.
We need to have Becky 2 belts for at least get through one other pay-per-view with it. But she wrestled Natalya.
Yep.
I liked her moonsault, but it did look like she kind of fucked it up a little bit. But still a cool-looking moonsault. Shit happens. If she makes a habit out of it, then we definitely need to chastise her like I personally chastise Nia Jax. But
I thought the women's right was her finisher, not a freaking moonsault.
Some people have more than one.
Just not mind-blowing.
Some people have more than one.
Yeah.
I get that.
Bayley has won matches with a diving elbow before.
She has the women's right, which is basically the knockout punch. So it's
I know.
Okay, that's just right there. You don't need to really beat a dead horse.
Right.
Well, she wanted to pull out something new, I guess.
It just doesn't cut it. The women's right to me is just, that's it. That's all I gotta see.
Fair enough. So, the main event. I don't know why you're so worried about this.
I'm not worried about it, but I just kind of it's. So they're building up. Roman and Seth's gonna have a tag team partner, but who? And it's AJ Styles. Let me just get my shit off my chest right now. Because of what happened on SmackDown, I'm both simultaneously happy and sad. One, when he got brought over there, I'm like, cool, another Finn match. But, as we'll get into, Finn goes to SmackDown. But also, since Roman went to SmackDown, then at least it's not going to be the Roman Reigns show. However, I like the idea of AJ being the SmackDown guy.
I understand.
I like, like what Undertaker was to SmackDown. I liked him being the franchise of SmackDown, not really being, the house that AJ Styles built. Granted, maybe it was like he's kind of wrestled everybody on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And the few people he hasn't wrestled, hey, they came to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it, but on the flip side, like I kind of liked, the whole idea of, like Undertaker was from 2002 to,
right.
when they eventually ended the damn thing, he was SmackDown through and through, and I like the idea of AJ kind of having that role.
He wasn't on the show every single week.
That's true.
So he didn't burn through the entire roster.
That's
like
true.
AJ did.
That's true. But, it is what it is. I am pissed off that we're not getting a good Finn program because Finn went SmackDown, but we'll get into that more later. But, yeah, it's going to be weird. My interest in Raw's gone up a lot more because of their acquisitions. And it's not just because of AJ, but like with Andrade and...
Mine's kind of the same. It's like no bigger, but no lower.
Well, here's my big concern, and I really hope... I'm sure they'll figure something out, but Raw has no secondary title now.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm wondering if they're going to work...
Joe was supposed to go to Raw, but he was ill, is the rumor, but I don't know.
I was like wondering, I was like, hold up, we have the IC champ on SmackDown, so where's Joe?
I'm hoping that gets like somehow remedied in the coming. You know what I would love.
I'm sure it will. Mm-hmm.
And this won't happen.
It's not officially listed yet.
This is fan fiction to the highest degree, but I would have at Money in the Bank have AJ and Finn not qualified for the respective Money in the Bank matches, have them wrestle each other for the Intercontinental title, have AJ beat Finn. That evens the record to 1-1. AJ, even though I really want Finn to have a good run with that belt, AJ takes the Intercontinental title back to Raw.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe AJ's Universal Champion come WrestleMania. Finn wins the Royal Rumble and then says, rubber match at WrestleMania next year. But
in the meantime, he could pick up his feud with Samoa Joe from the NXT days for the U.S. title. Because, Dollar versus Joe.
Was good.
They can do that again.
Yes, they can do that again. Or I also thought Braun could just beat Joe and get the U.S. title on Raw somehow. I'd hate for that to happen, but...
Or at SummerSlam's random call-ups, he can get the Dream.
Yeah?
Oof. Yeah.
I'm
really hoping he doesn't come up for another year.
Out of a troll move for SmackDown, I would have loved hearing Velveteen Dream's music kick in. Be like, wait, what? I don't know. Because come on, who would not want to see a promo battle between Elias and the Dream?
That'd be cool. I just kind of it's the whole Billy Madison thing with all the NXT call-ups. It's like, no, stay here. And
just as a one-off, be like,
I think
this
we got,
isn't my call-up,
I think we
but
got
you'll
some...
be seeing the Dream coming soon.
It's to you, Eric. Other Eric in the chat. Other Eric in the chat. Too many Erics. There's an Eric on WWE. There's Easy. Are we still streaming?
Yeah, we're still streaming.
I'm right here.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on in your
You just got... Your computer is picking up more...
pacing around.
Yeah. Well, it's because I'm actually signed in on there. It's a little... It's my account, so...
Eric says I'm late because delivery guy completely messed up.
Well...
I censored that a little. But...
Yeah. Well, we're glad to hear you. I guess that's why it's...
This ain't a PG show. We can say whatever the fuck we want.
I guess because he swore, we can show that. I don't care. Yeah.
Well, there it is.
Well, it was being censored on there. I didn't know you could do that.
The chat was censored? I'm not looking at it.
Oh, it's like, for sensitive content, do you want to show this comment? And I clicked yes. So I just learned something about live chat on YouTube, but...
YouTube is going SAWFT soft.
No!
Yeah, I know. We're all pissed
No!
off what happened at G1.
No!
New Japan.
Speaking of which, did you hear that New Japan is pissed off about that?
Really?
Ooh, no, I didn't. I would need to look this up.
Yeah, but I've heard that New Japan is not happy about that because they did that, and it took attention to the... This is rumor and innuendo. I want to specify that, but according to the rumor and innuendo, New Japan is mad about that because it took away from the storyline of Yano stealing the IWGP heavyweight tag titles from the Guerrillas of Destiny. Because I was like, while Enzo and Cass were, out destroying ROH and my interest in Ring of Honor, New Japan was trying to do that storyline.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So New Japan not happy, and New Japan is the only thing keeping Ring of Honor relevant right now, because Ring of Honor is pretty pissed. Because Ring of Honor is pretty piss poor right now, and just turning into Bully Ray's vanity project to turn it back into the ECW, much like Cornette did ROH, trying to turn it back into Smoky Mountain. And that's my final word. And we're gonna move on because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Now you're thinking, why did none of them sign with AEW? Well, in terms of a partnership, not those two jerkwads.
Stop. But anyway, SmackDown.
That's all I'm saying.
Jedi.
Yeah,
SmackDown.
Which means it's the best show.
Big E is injured.
So we have Big O.
Big O.
That's what I was wondering. What happened to Big E? I thought he was ill or
torn
he's
meniscus.
actually injured.
Probably from all the splits.
Yep. Torn meniscus.
So I don't know how long Big E's going to be out.
Finn Balor debuts on SmackDown and beats Ali.
Yeah, it was a good match. Him and Ali, about what you'd expect from... I'm not trying to downplay it at all. It's about what you'd expect from, a great match. Two great individuals like that. But we got I got some more chatter if you want to...
Yes.
Hello, Chicken Wangs. They call me Uncle Rico. All right. Well, Uncle Rico. We'll see.
Is that a Napoleon Dynamite reference?
Is it?
Uncle Rico?
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to
That
Rome.
movie's weird.
It's no longer the SmackDown Hotel, it's the SmackDown Yard.
Yeah.
Alright, so... Yeah, SmackDown in the women's division. Let's talk about that. I mean, we can talk about the fact that Charlotte exists, but that's it. Iconic.
Yes, it is.
So, Ember Moon is
Ember
on
Moon!
SmackDown.
Woo! And what makes me happy is Asuka's also on SmackDown, so maybe we can get that on the main roster. So, yes!
And she's not alone.
That's
Bayley.
And Kairi Sane.
And Kairi Sane.
But Io Shirai is still on NXT. Thank God.
Somebody's got to be down.
Yeah. Shayna
I
Baszler.
thought Kairi had a farewell match.
She did, but Io
Yeah,
Shirai's
see,
still
yeah.
there.
Yeah, Io Shirai's still there, and Bianca Belair, because there's got to be somebody to contend
And
with.
Shayna Baszler.
Of
Asuka
course.
and Kairi as a stable, that would be amazing, actually.
It'd be cool, but I kind of like them both in singles roles.
Yeah, you can. Someone actually made a YouTube comment on the WWE's YouTube saying, "Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Japanese experience."
Yes, I heard.
Well, I saw a meme
I
call.
also heard this.
I saw a meme calling the anime experience too. So.
Yeah, I mean, both seem accurate.
No, you know what? I would love an actual Sky Pirate stable. That would actually be killer.
Yeah, I mean, there's something that I just feel like
Asuka and Hirose, whatever the hell her name
Io
is.
Shirai.
Honestly,
Hirose, there
by maybe June or July, I would have no problem with Ember being the one to take the title from Becky, the SmackDown one, and then Becky can stay on Raw.
Gotcha.
I mean, remember when Ember Moon was actually dominant on NXT? What the hell's going
Yeah.
on?
She was never really dominant. She was always, with Asuka, she was kind of the underdog, and then she was always she was good, but Shayna was always right there.
She became champ after Asuka left.
Yeah. But I'm really hoping that, they can. I'm thinking they could really.
Well, let's be clear. Besides
Maybe
Asuka, nobody could hold the candle to Ember before she started challenging for the belt. That's why
Right.
she was the contender
Right.
for months on end.
Yeah. But I would love like an Evolution next year. You have the main roster match between Ember Moon and Asuka.
Yeah.
Like
If they're gonna do that pay-per-view.
it'd be silly for them not
I
to at this
agree.
point.
I'm making a lot of
I
matches.
agree.
So
right?
let's
They
check
make
the
that a
chat
lot of
real
matches.
quick.
Asuka and Ember Moon for the SmackDown Women's
The
Championship
anime
in a
experience.
ladder match.
Yeah. But why does that have to be a ladder match?
More hardcoreness. I would love. I don't know. Just ladder matches really fascinate me.
Well, it's fun. But to me, like you gotta. To me, it would be better. Like I would rather see them have like an Iron Woman match than a ladder match, or 2 out of 3 falls.
The 2 out of 3 falls thing, like it's. Well, it's not only because I'm still mad that Adam Cole Bateman lost, but it's like I don't know. It's like the intensity kind of like dies after like the first pinfall, and then it's like okay, you know it's gonna end in 2-1. Name me a 2 out of 3 falls match where it actually ended 2-0.
MVP and Chris Benoit. Ric Flair and Mick Foley.
Who?
MVP,
Chris
yeah.
Ben who?
Yeah, that guy. Stevie Richards.
Fair enough. Lord Voldemort.
Lord Voldemort. Ric Flair and Mick Foley.
There was one about a year or 2 ago in WWE. They
Yeah,
did.
two out of
Yeah.
three
Remember who it
falls is,
was
I
a
guess,
tag
not really my
match, I
favorite.
think.
Yeah.
There was a tag match on the main roster at a pay-per-view where they did that.
The bottom line
It was
is
a 2 closeout.
the bottom line is you couldn't have done the 2 out of 3 falls match with those two in NXT because at the time like that would have been way too much of Asuka going away. Asuka would have had to have won, but now that Asuka has been beaten, you could do that and they could wrestle for a long time.
Right.
Because also the best wrestling match probably in the last 2 years was a 2 out of 3 falls match,
Yeah.
which was Okada and Omega from Dominion last year. And then probably number 2 after that one was also a 2 out of 3 falls match, which is Cole and Gargano. So, and if that's not number 2, it's number 3. So then 2 of the top 3 were 2 out of 3 falls matches. So that's what I'd like to see before going hardcore with it. Hardcore can come after. Hardcore can be saved for
Justice for the
TLC.
Undisputed. I just want to make that public.
What's that?
Justice for the Undisputed. I want to make that public right now. Adam Cole got screwed over.
How? I want you to say right here on this very wrestling program how Adam Cole got
You
screwed.
didn't have me on last week, so I'm not gonna make my rants.
No, go ahead, please. I'm going to refill up my stein here. Go ahead and let's just get right into that. Interlude here, folks.
Eric says last woman
Adam
standing.
Cole Baby as the NXT champion, like, come on, they would run NXT like Evolution ran Raw. They are the kings. You get one guy's the champ, you get the tag champs, Bobby Fish and everyone's favorite air guitarist Kyle O'Reilly, and then you have Roderick Strong as the North American champion.
And
Undisputed Era.
And Johnny Gargano is Tommaso Ciampa's puppet. I was trying to get that to chant too. Ciampa's puppet.
yeah, but nobody cared. Nobody cared. People wanted Johnny to win. I was fully Adam Cole, but Gargano turned me midway through the match. I was rooting for.
But we know we're gonna have another Gargano Ciampa match. Like, oh come on.
No, we don't because Ciampa might be retiring. It's that bad.
Wait, really? Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
There may be there. Some people were speculating since they hugged at the end of that was Ciampa's swan song.
I sadly didn't see the hug because I had already left.
I was trying to leave because I had to get an Uber back to the Joy Ryan penis party. But
okay. As for me, I was waiting for my friend. That's why. I didn't see
yeah.
the hug.
So, but there may not be another.
Candice wrestling coming out.
There may not be that. So, I have no problem with
Yeah, he
Gargano holding it for a minute, and then they'll do a rematch.
Right. Ciampa said that the
NXT Toronto.
borrowed time.
Take over Toronto.
All right. Well, let's get back. This sidetrack aside, let's.
I mean, there's not a lot more. New Day beat Nakamura, Rusev, and Cesaro. New Day / Kevin Owens. Vince came out to announce the biggest acquisition in SmackDown history, which is Elias. And then...
don't you dare put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
And then Roman Reigns come out to announce that SmackDown is now his yard.
So now, like, I finally thought that, maybe when Finn Balor debuted on SmackDown, I'm like, oh, hey, he'll get maybe some opportunity to be champion. And then when Roman Reigns would be like, sure isn't! Sure isn't! SmackDown on Fox is going to be the Roman fucking Reigns show. On one hand, it makes me like that much more interested in Raw. On the other hand, it's like, well, fuck. Especially for
There's a slight
Finn.
rumor Fox has been saying they want SmackDown as 14A, which I obviously am 110% behind on that.
Well, we'll see. I'm of the opinion. I am of the opinion that while it doesn't hurt, you can be TV PG and still be a good wrestling product.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
NXT does it.
NXT does it. Chikara.
Yeah.
Chikara's PG. As great as the Attitude Era was, and we all love the Attitude Era, it's also...
I was too young to watch the Attitude Era.
It's also one of the most... It's overrated in terms of storylines. Like, you remember...
Yeah.
You remember, like... Or I shouldn't say overrated. It's very much looked at with rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
Because you remember, yay, Stone Cold! Yay, The Rock! Yay, DX! You forget Beaver Cleavage. And you forget...
We tried.
You forget PMS. You forget the stupid shit that was going on week after week after week after week. The Attitude Era became good wrestling like in 2000 when they kind of scaled things back. 2000 to me is still the best year in wrestling because not only was the quality there, but the ratings were there too. So you can't say, yeah, but to me it was kind of the total package of a year. And I don't mean Lex Luger, my friends.
Did the rumor saying it's going to be a Thursday or Friday show for the Fox?
Friday.
Yeah.
Friday. Oh yes, Friday Night SmackDown. That I miss.
But there were some other names that were
from Raw.
There were some other names that were moved.
So as they've done every other year, the WWE.com announced names after the shows and all that. So I believe
everybody goes to WWE.com.
That's right. So I think this is the actual WWE.com article with all the list of the official moves so far. So SmackDown, people that moved from Raw to SmackDown: Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Finn Balor with the Intercontinental Championship, Elias, Bayley, Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, Lars Sullivan.
Officially on SmackDown now. He'd become a good monster for SmackDown. I can see him and Roman having a program where he gets buried by Roman Reigns.
Yeah, hopefully not immediately,
Yeah,
because that would be pointless. But yeah, Buddy Murphy.
Woo!
Yeah, Buddy Murphy.
And it's just something, this was mentioned by another group chat. You can see what a big Kenny Omega fan Buddy Murphy is. And also I want to give a huge, huge, huge shout out, if I haven't already, to Buddy Murphy and the Velveteen Dream for their match for the North American Championship from NXT this week. Great, great match. Loved it. Awesome. But yeah, Buddy Murphy finally out of 205 Live to show everybody what he can do. Awesome.
The pink-haired, blue-tongued Liv Morgan.
So the Riot Squad split up.
I would have a t-shirt saying this because who watches 205 Live? I don't.
I agree.
Why the hell? Why would you broadcast 205 Live after SmackDown?
Right.
I would have that
instead of before.
I would have that as like 8 o'clock to 11.
Yeah, I would too.
People are still coming in. Then 9 o'clock to 11, yes, SmackDown.
I guess they wanted to be live on the WWE Network because 205 Live taped is kind of some irony and some lying there. But yeah, I get it. I'm with you.
Move 205 Live to NXT for God's sake.
Yeah, that's what I did on my Universe mode.
The crowd would actually give it a half.
We got some chatter.
No.
Nope. Yeah, Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit. I wanted to put that on a sign, but eventually at WrestleMania, but I just said fuck it.
Yeah.
No, I just said fuck it with signs. I just got tired. I wanted to make a Chris Blabel sign. I wanted to make lots of signs. So you know what's up with Chris Blabel.
So Liv Morgan.
Honestly, if I had a poster, I would have just had one that says, "This is the worst town I've ever been in."
No, I should. I took pride in saying that at All In Chicago because it truly was the worst town I'd ever been in.
Yeah, because it's Chicago, we know.
We're gonna hate on Chicago till the end of time. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
I know. I'm the same way with Montreal. Even though I want Montreal to host a WrestleMania, but everything else, I hate Montreal. Their sports can simply suck it.
Yeah, the Expos sure suck.
Okay, now the Expos, I want them back. Because Toronto needs a baseball rivalry.
I just wanted... That was my troll moment of the Expo. Alright, anywho's
Chad Gable, so I guess Rude and Gable.
Chris Blabel!
Right.
I don't even know who that is!
Speaking of people we don't know who it is, Apollo Crews.
There's a wrestler that's called Chris Label.
No, Chris Blabel. It's a Wrestle Talk thing. Shout out to people that have more subscribers than us.
Mickey James is also on SmackDown now. Because,
why not?
Somewhere, whatever. And Otis and Tucker, Heavy Machinery.
I'm still wondering why Tori Wilson's in the Hall of Fame before Mickey James. Like, are you effing kidding me?
Mickey James is still
wrestling, an active wrestler.
So, Kurt Angle was still wrestling.
Not when he was...
Kurt Angle was inducted into the Hall of Fame, became a GM, and then wrestled like much later and very sporadically, and never was like a contender for a championship or anything.
I'm not giving any hate on Tori. Obviously, she's a really great pioneer in a way, but I just never got behind her.
I understand.
I understand that, but like Mickey's time will come, but she's still.
I mean, some people wanted to get behind her.
Oh! Shout out to WrestleCrap, Mickey. Shout out to WrestleCrap, Mickey lift the tail.
Oh, God.
Mickey lift the tail from WrestleCrap. That's some good times there.
All right, so that was
very, very offensive times, but still good times.
That was people from Raw who went to SmackDown, or people who went to SmackDown anyway. We'll say that. People who went to Raw officially: AJ Styles, Miz, Ricochet, Aleister Black, Eric and Ivar.
Eric and who?
Ivar
Of the Viking Experience.
Who? I don't remember signing a contract to Raw. And even if I did, I would ask for my release to SmackDown.
Where they'll become E and I. Showing that E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah, they can't team up with Kevin Owens. E-I-E-I-O.
Yes! Book it, SmackDown! Book it!
Yeah, we're gonna rebrand them as Bushwhackers 2.
That's what I'm honestly afraid of, is them being bushwhackered with this Viking Experience tag team. Bushwhackered or fucking Ascension.
Yeah.
What the hell has happened to the Ascension? I just feel so bad right now.
Standards.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on.
There's a commentary on history there.
Andrade and Selena Vega, of course.
Okay.
Rey Mysterio, the Usos, Naomi, EC3.
Oh, he got shit on so
man.
bad. I think EC3's career is over before big. EC3 is destined for nothing. I feel like he should just.
I see him going to AEW very soon.
AEW or back to Impact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, Ethan Carter going to AEW, that would actually be pretty interesting.
We'll see.
I could see it from a storyline thing if they do it that way.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I would agree, probably Impact.
Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans is officially on Raw.
Eric Young, meaning Sanity is done.
Yeah, and from what I hear, also, they were saying, who was it, Killian Dane? One of the other two is Probably going to NXT UK.
Can we do a Mayan sacrifice to a WWE creative writer who thought, hey, let's break up one of the most scariest NXT stables we've had in a long time?
And never got their due on the main roster.
They never did anything with them. I don't think they even knew they existed.
No.
I think they drew a name out of a hat and was like, Eric, go to Raw.
No, they were like, hey, Saturday's coming to SmackDown. It's like, whatever happened to the element of surprise?
You know, Raw's like, if Samoa Joe does end up going to Raw, like, you could pretty well rename Raw TNA.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that bad way, but you got AJ, you got Joe, you got Eric Young, you got EC3.
Right, Bobby Roode.
Bobby Roode. It's fucking TNA.
All we're missing is Scott Steiner and Sting.
Huh?
Probably Foley.
And you even got Abyss backstage.
You got Abyss backstage.
I mean,
if Scott Steiner were to come back, there'd be a 141% chance. That'd be awesome.
That's right. And Cedric Alexander is going to Raw.
So
that's happening.
Yeah.
Good luck.
On one hand, I'm feeling like Cedric Alexander has enough talent that he could be, if he can get like the Ali treatment and really get some good programs under his belt and really get a good opportunity. We all know Cedric Alexander's talent. Whether or not that happens, let's go from there.
The Erics are multiplying.
It's Ethan Carter, not Eric Carter.
True.
Gotcha! Sorry, other Eric. But
fine, really. I'm just like really thinking, what the hell are they doing? Like, 1 minute we actually had a pretty decent and hell, even pretty awesome WrestleMania, minus the botched finish, which by the way, Ronda's shoulders were not up. Moving on. Now already it's like, we're going to have the fans take over for exactly 1 week.
Yeah, I didn't actually believe that was ever going to happen because it's just, how many new eras have been promised just in the WWE? But
can we just stop with the era crap? I'm just done. The only era we should be talking about is the Undisputed.
What about the Elite? What about the Elite era?
I'm not WWE.
No, but why are we talking about you? You don't want us to talk about you?
No, I do want people to talk about me. Like, I have my own thing, but it's...
The person with era in his name. What's the end to eras?
I am not WWE property. I am independent property.
I see.
Hey, everybody who works for WWE is an independent contractor.
Hey, if people want to be part of the Elite era, be my guest. You want to be a contributor? Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Well, it's
we can move.
I have mixed
over to my channel.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
No. Well, just 2 marks on the Elite era.
Yeah. Well.
On the Elite era network.
Well, you know what?
Subscribe for only $9.99 plus shipping and handling.
Shipping and handling for street.
Well, you know what? Maybe after Double or Nothing we can do that, so y'all can stay tuned. But
I'm sadly not going to Double or Nothing. I made that announcement on Monday Night Elite.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. But you can still watch the show, right?
But hey, on the bright side, if somebody wants my ticket, I will give it to you.
For a fee.
It's a contest, and I have a pretty damn good seat.
So, let's see, we got...
Good luck on that.
Although, once they confirm about All In 2, I would actually love to go back there.
Oh, yeah, me too, definitely, for sure.
Searson Arena was actually pretty damn awesome. Like, Cody was right.
Yeah, it was a nice arena, about the only thing good about Chicago. But, let's kind of wrap this, we got to wrap this up. Final thoughts on the drafts. We'll start with you, Easy. Just quick final thoughts on the Superstar shakeup.
It sucked. I'm mad. I'm sad. I don't know what they're doing anymore. Why would they ruin the War Raiders? I would do my own rant, but that'd be for another time. But just, what the hell are you doing? Okay, you know what? This was something we didn't touch on. What the hell are those stupid Bray Wyatt promos about? What are they doing?
It's too weird.
He's not injured anymore. Can we just bring him back? I was hoping he would come back and interrupt Elias. Or go on SmackDown, something. I don't know what's going on.
It always looks like I'm like looking at your dick when I'm looking at this way. That's the only thing I don't like.
Although the Sister Abigail doll, I love that. That is like creepy to the max. It's like, did they just?
Oh yeah. Talk about AEW real quick. They announced for Fight for the Fallen, Kenny Omega versus Shima. That's gonna be a good match. So, we're to that.
I would go to Jacksonville, but not only is it the worst town ever. Why the hell would you do a Florida show in July outside?
You got a point there.
Want us to die?
You can wear. You can go in your swimsuit.
Man, I'll have to look into that one. I've got friends in Jacksonville.
I do love.
Oh yeah.
I could just stay at their house.
Fuck yeah.
Heck, one of them's a wrestling fan.
So that you don't like it, Jedi Superstar Shakeup.
Good points and bad points. I kind of like how they switched Roman and AJ because really they're the top two. Apparently Brian might be injured.
And they're guarding it so closely it may be that bad.
Yeah. So basically AJ and Roman, because Brian's in the picture, those are the two top guys still really on both. They switched it, kind of like the Cena Batista thing way back in the day.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. They switched a lot of things. SmackDown women. They really stacked their roster, which is good because it was pathetic before WrestleMania.
The SmackDown women got stacked and the Raw tag division got stacked.
Yes. Which were both fledgling to the point of
right.
So I'm kind of excited to see what they do. I'm well aware they're good at writing the worst stuff with the best people. So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but at least we're moving in a direction of some sort.
Right.
And now they can start doing something, hopefully. I mean, they might not do a whole lot until after Money in the Bank. They might do a few things because they're going to have so many people tied up in that.
Wait, when the hell is Money in the Bank anyway?
It's in May. Yeah, it's in May apparently now. It's not in June.
Yeah.
I just learned this today. So I learned this on the air. So.
Oh, they're idiots. They moved it a week before. They moved it like a week before Double or Nothing.
Yes, they did.
Really, guys?
I think they did that on purpose.
They did.
Yep.
Because I swear it's like, weren't they saying that Money in the Bank was going to be in June?
Yeah, and they moved their Saudi Arabia show from May to June.
So they did that so they're hoping people will spend money and buy Money in the Bank rather than buying Double or Nothing.
Because it's like a week before or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not head to head, but it is like
that they moved Money in the Bank right on Memorial Day weekend.
I wouldn't put it past them. My thoughts, I think, if you would just leave Miz, other than I'm okay with all the moves except for I would have left Miz on SmackDown and left Finn on Raw. That would have been perfect then. Obviously you could put Roman on it. I mean, I'm not a Roman fan at all. There's nothing unless he turned him into a bad guy. There's nothing about Roman Reigns that appeals to me whatsoever. So any show he's on is not going to pump me up. I feel more optimistic about AJ and all the new talent on Raw because they're not going to have to compete with Vince's favorite wrestler. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side of things, my optimism about
say his name.
they're not going to be able. I felt that Finn, could have maybe had his chance to really get that main event run, but then it's kind of like, well, who knows now?
Right.
But yeah, SmackDown, they needed their women's division beefed up. They got it. Raw needed their tag division beefed up. They got it. Whether this momentum sticks, I don't know. I would not put money on it because, like you said, they fucked up unfuck-upable situations before. But that's pretty much it, and that's
the WWE experience.
That's sort of gonna be my least favorite word is gonna be experience.
And yeah. But
here's my prediction. Cedric Alexander on Raw. First feud, Baron Corbin.
Let's chop! Poor boy's got chopped already! But
Cedric Alexander, Baron Corbin?
That's what I said.
That's
what I said. I didn't say I wrote it. I predicted that's what they're going to do.
Yeah. And Yeah, I think it's time to put a bow on this. Easy, you want to shill real quick before I get into mine?
Yes, everyone. Please follow the Elite Era for your amazing wrestling stuff. Every Monday I do a reaction video to Being the Elite. A lot of entertainment out of the BTE universe and AEW news and rumors. And I have a contest going on for a Double or Nothing ticket for May. You guys should enter it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Even if you're not going to StarCast, go to Double or Nothing. I mean, you're in Las freaking Vegas, for God's sake. Like, yes, there's an awesome wrestling convention, but there's also Las Vegas.
I would be all on board with that if it wasn't for the fact that I already burnt up all my real world vacation time and money on.
Oh, same here. That's why I had to back out. Because it happened way too soon after Mania. If Double or Nothing was honestly on Labor Day weekend like they did for All In, I would have been.
That's way too much time. You have enough people you have enough people bitching about them. They haven't wrestled. You know. It's just a T-shirt company. You have that stupid fucking shit going on.
Yeah, and apparently there's a rumor that T-shirt company has a TV deal with TBS and TNT.
Yeah, well, the one thing, that's a rumor, but let's also remember about TBS and TNT. They told Eric Bischoff he had WCW bought until the deal fell through. So until there's pen to paper and a deal is finalized and we see it, you don't trust that whole station because look at what they did to, well, WCW, but...
worst case scenario, Paramount Network.
No,
They actually had some pretty good content when they had Impact for a while.
Yeah, but nobody cares. If it's not a hot network, TBS would be a good network.
True. Or maybe the CW. I mean, they had a good deal for.
Yeah, that'd be good actually. That's network TV. That'd be really good. And they have their own streaming service, so that's also cool. So CW, I'd actually say be even better, but
yeah.
We got to wrap this up.
No, they're not going to unite any of the women's tag titles or the tag division titles, even though, Eric, that would probably be...
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it.
But
they've done it by now. They're not going to do it.
Time to get into our shells, because it's...
yes.
It's time to put
So, social media. We got to go to bed, so he's got social media, I don't.
You guys say have kids. You got kids, you ain't got no social media. Go like my Facebook page, facebook.com/athleticgeek89. If you enjoyed this video, would like to see others like it, please like, share, and subscribe. I got videos not just from the world of wrestling, but from the world of video games, from the world of comic books, and all things geek culture. Go follow me on Twitter at athletic_geek89, even though I don't tweet too much. And I'm on Instagram at athleticgeek89. But for the Elite Era... And Jason Kruger. I am the Athletic Geek. We are just 3 marks. We're out. Have a good one.
I was like, you losing what your show's called again?
I had to count. Have a good one.
We're watching Thursday Night Elite. Let's watch them beating the Elite.